It's a true pleasure to be here today to congratulate you, the graduates, and your family and friends on this special occasion. You came to us 4 years ago as the most academically talented group in the history of this university. And what you've encountered, accomplished, and yes, endured over the past 4 years has been truly remarkable. A very special experience in a distinctive academic major that exists in fewer than 12 universities in the world. This exceedingly rigorous, human-oriented medical science major is, as you know, as competitive as it gets, and yet highly compelling because it was designed by a faculty firmly invested in your success. It began here in anatomy, your introduction to the macro, the human body. And it ended in pharmacology and medical genetics, the micro. And in between, a curriculum logically extended these two ends. As dean of the college for 14 years, I've taken to calling this program the most powerful pre-professional education in the world. Your accomplishments, therefore, deserve a special kind of celebration. I want to make just 3 points. The first thing is to try to remember that there are really no little people in life. We know that we all share a basic human dignity, that everyone counts. One weekend years ago, my daughters had me re-watch with them the magnificent Lord of the Rings trilogy, an extended version, for over 15 hours, and with commentary. I didn't want to do it at first, but I'm glad that I did. It occurred to me that Tolkien, the author, went to great lengths to emphasize the point that there are no unimportant people. In the story, it's actually the halflings, the hobbits, the little people of the tale who are the heroes in the end, saving the race of humans from themselves. Now, as you sit in Route 2, or on the brink of the beginning of your own professional careers, one way to ensure that you live out this point is in the words from an old song from the 1970s, which some of your parents may remember. It contained this line: "Don't surround yourself with yourself. By associating with persons from different and varied walks of life, you'll be all the richer and ultimately the wiser for it. Make an effort to meet those with whom you expect to have not much of anything in common at all." I have a physician friend who told me, "I never hang out with doctors." He also told me a story about a physician at a social event who was kind of frustrated as people kept exploiting him, asking him for medical advice. And one of those people was an attorney. And he went up to the attorney and said, "Hey, how do you deal with this?" And she said, "That's easy. I just send him a bill for $350. And this was Saturday night. That Monday he went to his mailbox and he had a bill from that attorney for $350. But to be serious, the major lesson here is to be charitable with your time, especially with those from whom you're most different. I promise that you won't regret it and you'll be the richer for it. The second point is about expressing gratitude, giving thanks to those who helped bring you to this day. It's been said that gratitude can transform common days into Thanksgivings, turn routine jobs into joy, and change ordinary opportunities into huge blessings. I think it makes sense that on this occasion, you acknowledge and honor those who've brought you to this point, who've nurtured and protected you, those who sacrificed so that you could attend a prestigious program in university, those who've cared for you in a way and still care for you in a way that you're unlikely to fully understand unless and until you become parents yourselves. I have learned this. I've helped raise 3 daughters. Here's how my wife describes parenthood. It's like having your heart running around outside of your body and for the rest of your life. And then it gets worse. Then they get married. My oldest daughter graduated from college a couple of years ago and then got married. At the time, I pondered the sentiments of some father of a bride who described giving away his daughter in marriage like this. It was like handing a $15 million Stradivarius violin to a gorilla. Sorry, fellas. So honor your parents, grandparents, spouses, significant others, and whomever has played a role in bringing you here to this day on this special occasion, remembering that the best way to honor them is to live an honorable life. The last thing is about something to try to avoid, namely comparisons. This I can illustrate with a brief story. There were two brothers who were well known for running an organized crime operation out of a certain city. One day one of them died, and the remaining brother had much trouble arranging for a Christian burial. Every church in town turned him down. Finally, he approached a certain pastor with a deal. He said, "I will give you $25,000 to eulogize my brother, but on one condition. You must, at some point in the eulogy, describe him as a saint." Well, the pastor was no fool, and he knew of all the good things he could do with the money. And so the day of the eulogy came, and he stood in front of the casket, and he said, "The person lying before you is the most reprehensible human being ever, a completely selfish, corrupt, disgusting example of a life poorly lived. But compared to his brother, he was a saint." Now, on the surface, this is an easy one, because we realize it's something of a fact of human nature to tell ourselves that no matter what else we are, at least we're not as bad as so-and-so. But avoiding false comparisons can be a lifelong struggle. Sometimes it will be difficult to avoid being caught up with others in a competition for success, for status, the perception of intelligence, position, material wealth, and other distractions that can be detrimental to your well-being ultimately. You've heard it said here over and over, be yourself, be real, be a person for others, be the difference, but beware. Over time, this message can become distant, clouded, even drowned out in a crowded marketplace of ideas screaming, "Acknowledge me first, look at mine. This is not who I think you are, not who I think you've become." You're going to be doing some very important things in the future. But just be careful to avoid these kinds of comparisons going forward. And so now, as you prepare to go forward, it can be bittersweet, leaving Marquette. On the one hand, you've worked incredibly hard, even survived a worldwide pandemic, and accomplished so much, and it's a relief to cross the academic finish line and collect your degree. On the other, you'll be leaving behind some great friends and memories. But there's one thing about Marquette that's different from other universities. It's a place you never really leave, and it never really leaves you. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the Department of Biomedical Sciences and the College of Health Sciences, we salute and congratulate you, the class of 2021. We also thank and honor your parents and relatives for entrusting you to our care, and want you to know what a privilege and pleasure it's been to be with you on your educational journey. You're a special part of us now, a true and enduring part of the pride, passion, and promise of what's a very special program in a very special college at a very special university. Congratulations.